Welcome to Rocky 2, Tony. My name is Brandon Herrera. I'm a serial entrepreneur, Second Amendment activist, content creator, firearm manufacturer, and
Oh yeah, AK-50. When Brandon wins, would he be like one of the first ever gun builder to be in our government? What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with no reaction. Get those 10s and 20 views. Could not find a t-shirt I wanted to wear for this video because our boy Brandon is doing the thing again. The thing.
Bolin, do the thing.
What thing?
The thing! I never had to tell Julie what thing.
I'm not Julie, okay? Pretend I don't know anything about anything that's happening here.
Haven't used that clip in a while. But yes, today we are reacting to Brandon Herrera's video. I'm running for Congress. Oh my god. Part 1 of this saga was great. Just for Donut just bullying a member of the government. That was just the best part about it. I can't wait to see the online trolling that goes on again. How much money is Tony gonna have to spend this time to be the YouTuber who now has experience? So, and has probably some good political backing. So enough of me talking, let's get to it. Hold on, first things first. Okay, I'll make sure the audio is playing.
In the 1976 film Rocky, despite what people might remember, Sylvester Stallone's
Rocky lost round 1.
Character Rocky Balboa doesn't actually win in the climax of the film. Instead, everyone is just impressed that despite him going up against the current champion, he, being a rough around the edges everyman,
and the whole point was Rocky was a nobody who they just picked as kind of a tune-up fight type thing. Like, oh, let's give him the local guy type thing. And which also shows how fixed boxing is.
Goes the distance, beating everyone's expectations, and almost wins.
Ain't gonna be no rematch. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
Biggest lie in sports. There was a rematch.
In fact, it's not actually until the rematch in Rocky 2 that Stallone's character actually succeeds and finally wins the title. Welcome to Rocky 2, Tony. My name is Brandon Herrera. I'm a serial entrepreneur, Second Amendment activist, content creator, firearm manufacturer, and
Oh yeah, AK-50. When Brandon wins, would he be like one of the first ever gun builder to be in our government?
2 years ago, I made the decision to run for Congress.
That's why I'm running for Congress.
It was a terrifying jump into unfamiliar territory. But I did it because the congressman who represented me, Tony Gonzalez, even though a Republican, kept making bad votes that just made no sense to me. Like voting for Biden's gun control, opposing border security, selling out American interests on behalf of other countries, and a bunch of other things that shocked me to learn that a Texas Republican would vote for.
I'm not in Texas, so I really have no dog in this fight, but it's the fact that, yeah, from what the last election cycle said, like, oh yeah, no, let's do this in the biggest district that borders, Mexico.
And I wasn't alone. Texas Republicans were so disappointed in him, they took the almost unprecedented move of censuring him. But we still needed somebody to stand up to him, which is why 2 years ago, I made the decision to jump in the Republican primary. For those who don't know, a primary election is when voters of both parties get to vote on who's going to represent their party in the coming election. So if your party's representative was particularly bad, like mine was, you get the option to replace them. Now, statistically, replacing an incumbent that wants to run for re-election is very hard to do.
Yeah, because you figure, as the new guy, no one has your back. It's like, well, it's the devil we know over here versus the unknown in Brandon Herrera.
But we gave it a shot. What followed was one of the craziest 10-month journeys of my life, running.
Oh God, I feel bad for Brandon's social media guy because, he's not stopping on going on on unsubscribe.
For office in Texas Congressional District 23, one of the biggest in the country, against one of the best funded members of Congress in the entire country. I'll get more in a couple details later, but long story short, we succeeded in our goal.
I almost wish he was doing this in front of his gun wall, but I get why he's going with the aesthetics of the average workshop, going like, hey, I worked for my shit type feel.
Of taking him to a runoff, which in certain states, Texas being one of them, if the incumbent doesn't get above 50% of the vote in the primary, he then goes into a special secondary election, where it's between the people who came in first and second, which means all the challengers were taken off the board except for me and Tony.
Which is exactly what Brendan needs to do again, because once it's down to 2 people, now it's just like, okay, who do we like more?
What followed was a brutal 2-month runoff where I had all of the guns and money of the establishment pointed directly at my forehead. With over $10 million being spent against me, and not spent like 10 to 1. All that money being used on a campaign to essentially slander me where I live.
Yeah, like I remember, this is why I said Donut's contribution and Nick, the fat electrician, which I found his shirt, but not Brendan's, were pretty much just like bullying the dude online. Like every time he said, well, Texas needs a real Texan. Fat electrician was like, yeah, it's funny. Texas' first president was a guy from, South Carolina. Oh, aren't you registered to vote in this state? Like they were just like fact checking them at every turn. Okay, they're good friends.
I lost by like 400 votes.
Yeah, it was a lot closer. And I think a lot of that had to do with, like, if you can backtrack, look at the number of votes Tony got in the first one, almost 26,000. Brennan got 14. And then when you get back to here, 15 to 14. So a lot of people who voted the first time didn't go back out.
By 1%. That is the map of an incumbent that was not having a good time. DC was kind of panicking. I mean, even the Speaker of the House came down and campaigned against me in a primary. But you know what? I came away from it being pretty optimistic, thinking that, even though we just narrowly lost, maybe, just maybe, it made a difference.
Unfortunately, he's a dick. No.
For one, we drained the DC establishment of millions of dollars that they weren't expecting to have to spend in this race. And I was hoping,
True.
Maybe this is a big wake-up call to Tony that, hey, half of your district is very, very upset with the job that you're doing. And if you don't start voting right, we can replace you. Like King Leonidas in 300, just reminding Xerxes that he can, in fact, still bleed. And it worked.
What, for like 2 months?
Just kidding. Like 3 days after the election was over in November, he was on CNN arguing against deportations.
If the message is we're here to deport your abuelita, that's not going to work well.
But hey, it was a nice thought, right? When these people win, they feel untouchable. They will continue to do favors for the people who kept them in office and vote for garbage without any sense of accountability from the people who they hate and pretend to love when the cameras are on. The truth is, these people only understand one language. The only way to stop
How am I getting it? How do I become a multi-millionaire with a low-incoming public service job? Oh, take the money to the big corporate backers and just say, fuck my constituents. Yeah.
them, truly stop them, is to win. I understand that now. After the last race, I'll be honest, I thought I was done, right? I gave it.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling, more than a feeling, that he was not going to be done with it. Like, it was one of those things where he got so close that he could practically taste it, and then just not to win just would probably put more fuel to the fire.
On a shot, and I was happy to go back to my honestly comfortable life, shooting guns, making content with my friends, and running my businesses. But I'm not gonna lie, it started to eat at me. Those things that I didn't like about DC, about my congressman, they didn't change. The things that the voters in the district were upset about, the reason so many of them were sick of their fake conservative congressmen, they didn't change. People in the political world kept telling me, oh, nobody wins on their first try, even during my first try, which, I'll be honest, kind of.
Yeah, that's not really the advice that you give. It's like telling that the military guy or your friend, oh, this is your first wife? Oh, this is your practice wife. You always go through a practice wife. It's like, what kind of advice is that? Tell me how I can win.
Ticked me off because I was, gunning to prove him wrong. Spoiler alert, But knowing all the problems that made me run the first time were still there, the more I realized that if I just decided to give it up now, I'd just be a quitter. I'd be giving up on the district. I'd be giving up on all the voters who counted on me. All of you who gave to the campaign, who volunteered, door knocked. As much
I will be buying a new Brandon Herrera campaign T-shirt. My only subtle contribution.
as it's more comfortable to just look the other way, I can't bow out of a fight if I know I can make a difference. It's just not how I'm wired. Texas District 23 deserves a real conservative, not a cheap fake who plays one on TV.
Texas is the new Hollywood.
Or sometimes weirdly just forgets to try to. Somebody who actually understands and respects the Constitution, not just as like a cheap line, but actually respects it. Someone who will vote not just to protect, but to enhance your gun rights.
Yeah, that's like the things I think Brandon Herrera is going to win on. Like, there's still people trying to go after guns left and right, especially in Texas. And the border. It's like, Brandon Herrera is Hispanic. But he's like, yeah, no. We have the biggest part of the border. We need to protect it.
Not vote to throw them away when it gets inconvenient. Someone who will actually put America first, not talk about being America first while giving billions of dollars to foreign countries while America goes trillions deeper into debt. Someone who will actually vote to protect America's borders, not just claim that they will on TV during election season.
Yeah, the upside when Brandon Herrera wins is we'll still have him on unsubscribe, and he'll be able to tell us exactly what's going on. Like, he will not give two craps. He'll be like, oh yeah, so I had to fly out to DC, do my job that I got elected for, and 2/3 of the people weren't there. Funny. And then that'll get spread all over YouTube and Pepperbox. So yeah,
Texas deserves better than Tony. I'm willing to put my life to the side to stand up and take that fight. And if I can, I'd like to ask for your help just one more time to help me do it. Last time, I think we might have actually broken a record for a number of small dollar donors in a congressional race. The amount of you guys that were able to put together.
oh yeah, that link right there will be in my description. Just, simple thing I can do.
Even just $5, $10, $20 blew away the DC professionals. I'm not even kidding. I had these conversations after the race with, DC types who do political data for a living, and they were in literal disbelief of what we were able to.
Well, what did Nick just call us on the last kind of consensual, the Pepperbacks? Like, look what's happened with the Buffalo with the rich. You don't think, granted, too bad we don't all live in District 23, but you don't think we'll give like $5, $10, buy a t-shirt to help out a campaign of a person that seems genuine?
Put together. All with no big super PACs, no special interests, no foreign lobbyists, just me and you guys. They literally didn't believe me until I showed them the numbers. I mean, we were able to raise over $1 million without having to play the DC games and beg people who definitely don't expect favors in return. But this time, I want to make sure we give them a fight they're not ready for.
I'll give you a war you won't believe.
You can check out the
That's the second Sylvester Stallone clip there, Brennan. Come on.
campaign website and
Also very
donate at BrandonHerreraForCongress.com to help with this fight. But first, before I even make that ask, I just want to show you that I'm putting my own money where my mouth is. Last race, I ended up putting about $150,000 of my own money in the campaign over the course of, let's say,
One, I wish this was more things. Like, you had to either be single, party donors, or you had to put up your own money. You should not be able to lobby for, more money from, DC.
9 months or so. Much more if you include opportunity cost. I'm planning on doing a lot more this time. And to start off strong, I'm going to be matching your donations in the month of August up to $100,000 personally, so we could blow this first month's projections out of the water. I hate that money is such a pivotal part of politics, but last time I saw exactly what happens when you didn't have enough. The establishment could barely handle us last cycle, and money and slander were the only 2 weapons they had.
Money. Money was the only thing you had. You had Nick, you had Cody, you had, now Eli's going to get in the game. Now you have Tectone. Probably have Asmongold. Oh, God, the amount of autism. Oh, Eli. How did I forget Eli? He's doing more internet stuff now. It's just going to be, hilarious to watch.
This time, if we keep the momentum up, they don't stand a chance. I want them to be afraid. Not like I've got dirt on the Clintons and I'm about to catch a plane parade, but, you know. Last time we also did monthly giveaways for people who donated to the campaign, whether it was stuff made by us or it was invitations to me and Cody's range days. And don't worry, even though it hasn't been announced yet, everybody who donates $5 or more to the campaign will automatically be entered in that giveaway.
I have a new job. I can't take time off. Plus, I'm trying to do more YouTube stuff. I'm going to start streaming again. That'll be Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Football.
Recurring donors will automatically be entered in the future giveaways as well. And it probably goes without saying, but just to clarify, all of this campaign money will be going directly into campaign ads, yard signs, TV, social media, Facebook. Yes, Facebook, trust me. Radio ads, banners, etc. I make $0 off this. I get no payment from the campaign, either directly or indirectly. And like I said, I will be personally matching donations this month up to $100,000 just to kick things off. Because unlike the DC types, I don't need this. I already have.
See, that's kind of what the Congress and the House of Representatives was originally supposed to be, was guys like Brendan Herrera. I built a business. I have my own money. I can afford to take time off to help make sure that everyone in the country is well taken care of. Not guys who are making these things like, your whole career. I think I drove to my one coworker. The max a person should be able to spend in federal office should be, I think I said, like 28 years. 10 in the House of Representatives, 10 in Congress, 8 as president. That should be it.
I have my dream job. I'd be taking a pay cut to take this job. But I'm willing to do it because I truly feel like it's the best way I can currently serve my country.
Also, he gets access to more classified information. Some of those gun videos are going to be a little more entertaining.
Because that's what it should be. It's not a job. It's not a way to get rich. It's service. People forget that. And I'll take that pledge right now, on record. When I'm in office, I will not be buying, selling, or trading a single stock. Hell, I support legislation to ban it while in office. Again, unlike the DC types, I don't need insider trading to be successful. Although if you're looking for stock tips, I'd just recommend doing what Nancy Pelosi does. I hear that tends to work out for some reason.
Yeah, odd. Oh God, Brendan Herrera there would be hilarious. Just for the fact that you would know people like AOC would just look over at him like, what? I'm not a white male. You can't just rip into me like you do everybody else.
But yes, I am officially throwing my hat back into the ring to finish what I started and get a turncoat Republican out of office. I am tired of Republicans saying that they're going to go in and they're going to fight for us. And then when the time comes to fight for something specific, they cave, they capitulate, they say, I had no choice. Most of them didn't even bother to fight in the first place. They can't buy me because they can't afford me. They can't threaten me because I'm not afraid of them.
Yeah, he has AK-50. He ain't afraid.
But they will attack me because they're afraid of people like me. People they know they can't control. You don't spend millions of dollars beating somebody you don't consider to be a threat. As the saying goes, you take the most flack when you're over the target.
Yeah, true. You guys, like I said, that was District 23 could be one of the most important districts in Texas because it has the most. It's massive. Looking at the map, let's see, we're at a minute 9:31. Let's see, where's the? See if I can find it. Ah, there it is. So we're 9:31. Look at this district. The amount of border it covers, the amount of land it covers, is insane. So you figure they would want to keep that in control of somebody who's doesn't really want strong border control.
Ah, that's my cue. Sorry, gotta do a little walk and talk here. So if you're tired of career politicians, corrupt insiders who...
I do like how he's, at the same time with this one, he's actually making fun of those stupid, campaign videos.
who are willing to throw your rights away first chance they get for a
I wish the Lance fell. I wish the Lance fall.
check from big business or foreign interests. If you truly want to make politicians afraid again, I'd be honored to represent your voice. Oh, and if you're watching this and you are from the establishment, just remember in the real world, there's more of us than there are of you.
Now, Brendan Herrera.
Oh, he filmed that right before he made the announcement? Oh. I do wish he added in the part of him making the announcement again. That's right. Brandon, once again, running for Congress. I am rooting for him. Like I said, we need more people that don't need it financially. Like the people who are just like, you know what? I can afford this. I have people in place that can make sure my business stays afloat. Yeah, I think the guy's the big bearded guy who helped him with the AK-50. He could easily help run his shop. He can still pop up on unsubscribe. He can still do gun videos in his spare time. It's like his life, granted, will be a lot more like hectic, but he can still do anything. That's how the government should be. Way it was supposed to be. So, yeah, of course, I will be supporting Brendan. Once I see that there's some merch available, I will buy it. I will, of course, have his campaign thing in the description. I think I'll leave it in there for any time I do a pepper box, unsubscribe, fat electrician, and donut operator, habitual line crosser, if you want me to react to him. Anybody who's on Pepperbox, who's close friends with Brendan, Kentucky Ballistics, High Speed Ballistics, anybody who I know is associated with Brendan, I'll leave that Congress description at the bottom. But that is it. That's all I have, and I'll see weird people later. Like I said, I will be streaming again. A lot of football, and I think I'm going to play Spore off stream, but I'm going to upload it to the gaming channel. So keep an eye out for that. Till next time.